From LEX 18, your official UK sports station for Big Blue Nation, this is BBN Tonight. Presented by Central Bank, the official bank of UK Athletics.
Welcome to BBN Tonight. I'm Josh Berrien.
And I'm Keith Farmer. Tonight, a trip to Mizzou ends in another loss for Kentucky basketball.
And later we'll talk to Justin Rowland of Cats Illustrated because the pieces are finally in place for the 2021 UK football recruiting class. The UK basketball team battled on the road last night following the program's pause for COVID-19, but once again, they couldn't come up with enough plays in the closing minutes of the game, and that's tonight's Big Blue story presented by Baptist Health. The first half at Missouri was pretty much a wash for the Cats. The one guy who kept them in it was their fearless veteran, Keon Brooks Jr., who was hot from downtown. He hit 2 threes early. He had 8 points at halftime, finished with 10 points plus 6 boards. But Mizzou kept Kentucky down early with the 3 ball. The Tigers were ranked 303rd in the nation in three-point percentage heading in. They hit 7 of 11 threes in the first half, taking a 13-point lead into the break. In the second half, the Cats were running and gunning. B.J. Boston had 10 points, and the Cats went on an 8-0 run to start the half. But let's skip ahead to where UK usually struggles the last 4 minutes of the game. Davion Mintz hit a 3 to bring Kentucky within 4. Although Brooks was hot from 3 early, it was a puzzling decision by Coach Cal not to put in Dante Allen, who's 47% on the year in that game, in the situation they were put in that moment. The Cats struggled to get the offensive putback in later. Also had 4 turnovers in that span, and we're right back to where we're starting.
We had thrown it to the post 7. I don't even know what I was thinking. And I also went and we put Davion in a pick and roll. Questionable. And that's on me, not the kids. But it's not like we didn't play in the last 4 minutes. We knew what we were doing. We were playing. We defended. We just, again, turned it over. 17 turnovers. You're not going to win a game like this. We had a play where Dante in the first half was wide open on a wing, and we threw a ball across our body through 2 defenders, and the guy steps out of bounds. Dante had no one on him. That's the plays we're making right now. And all of those are turnovers.
And again, Keith, 17 turnovers, 4 of those coming within that final 3 minutes and 30 seconds. You've got to get something going. I mean, I understand that he said this team doesn't have any playmakers on the roster. My suggestion would be, because he's been the leading scorer throughout most of the season, would be Davion Mintz. He had 18 points last night. Just give him the rock or give B.J. Boston the rock. But somebody has to make a decision on the offensive side of the ball. And has to take a shot with more time than 7 seconds left.
Yeah, Davion's one guy that I see that's kind of been the most consistent throughout the year.
Yeah.
And I feel like, if I want a guy taking the shot, I want it to be Mintz. Well, as we mentioned, Coach Cal decided to sit Dante Allen following a poor performance in the first half. Here's what he had to say about his decision.
We shot 60% in the second half, and I just ran with the guys that were playing well. And if you watch it, what they were doing to Dante, they were going right at him defensively. So they were, whoever he was on, that's what they were doing. And I just didn't, our biggest thing was we were getting great stops and scoring. So, next game he may play 25, 30 minutes. This game, it was my choice. I rode with the team that was playing well in the second half.
Yeah, I'm a big Dante Allen fan, but in a way, I got to agree with Coach. If your guys are playing well, those are the guys you want on the floor. At the same time, I agree with you with what you said earlier. Yep. At the end, when you needed the big shot, kind of would have liked to have seen Dante in those final few minutes.
Now, I'm trying to figure out whether they have set plays or not for Dante Allen, because when he was in the LSU game, he came in and all he did was pull up. That's what Coach Cal was saying. Let it fly. Let it fly. Yeah. You have to have some set plays there in the last 3 minutes of the game for him to be able to come in and just square up and just shoot the 3 ball. Yeah. So, they've got to get that together. Coach Cal also addressed the point guard situation where the search for answers continues. He says B.J. Boston practiced at the position when it appeared Devin Askew might not be able to play at Missouri. Keith, this is an area that they have struggled in all season long, and we know of Askew's struggles this year. They're still waiting on Terrence Clark to return. What do you make of B.J. Boston at point guard now?
That would surprise me. I mean, I don't care who brings it up in a half-court situation and gets it started. It could be Olivier Sarr for all I care, because that's all you're doing. You're getting it started. But when you're getting out on the break, I want somebody to be able to take over and find that open man in the break and make the break happen. And while Devin's been able to do that some, I think he's getting caught dribbling too much.
Yep.
And coaches pointed that out to him. So I'm not sure Boston's a guy I want bringing it all the way from coast to coast. If he wants to get the offense started half court, I think that'd work.
I'll let him drive to the basket any day of the week, though. I'll let him do that.
The status of Terrence Clark remains up in the air. While the UK freshman is out of his boot, and Coach Cal says his MRI results showed no significant and/or lingering ankle damage, Clark remains questionable. Josh, he would be a big addition if they could get him back, but obviously it's going to be up to the player and how he feels.
Absolutely, yeah. You definitely don't want to rush out there and, cause a re-injury to the injury that you already have.
Yep.
But right now, they really need a playmaker. As we've said multiple times before, they really need one. And if that's Clark, great. If it's not, then they have to find and use the guys that are available right now who are healthy. Turning to Kentucky football, Big Snack has made his decision. 6'5", 315-pound defensive tackle Phil Hoskins says he's going to declare for the NFL draft despite an opportunity for a 7th year of college football because of the pandemic. 7 years of college ball, keep you up for that?
I mean, I couldn't do 1 year of college football, but I think it's time. At this point, it's time to move on. And, and he's making that break. But 7 years, that'd be too much. All right, if the UK volleyball team winds up in the big dance, they'll have to enter a bubble. The NCAA announced that the entire 2021 volleyball tournament will be bubbled in Omaha, Nebraska. The changes are based on the medical guidance of converting all rounds of the championships to predetermined sites and reducing the overall number of sites.
And things are going well for UK men's tennis. The number 19 Wildcats stayed perfect on the season with back-to-back 4-0 victories over Dayton yesterday, pushing their record to 7-0. Meanwhile, sophomore Liam Draxel has been named SEC Player of the Week after he earned the biggest singles win of his career last weekend, beating the nation's 6th-ranked singles player.
And we'll end the segment with men's soccer. Following an abbreviated fall slate that ended with a 5-1 record, the program set to continue its season with unveiling of its spring schedule. The Cats will compete 1 closed exhibition game, 4 non-league matchups, and a full 7-match Conference USA agenda.
Now, coming up next on BBN Tonight, Kentucky football's 2021 recruiting class has really come into focus following more signings yesterday.
So we'll check in with Justin Rowland with Cats Illustrated for a full rundown of UK's impressive haul. That's when we return.